just wanted to say a few words as we say farewell to this 2020-2021 academic year. It has been a whirlwind, and I am just so proud of all of you for persevering and making it through all of these challenges that this last year has held for us. And I was actually praying this morning with the passage from Luke's Gospel about the disciples on the walk to Emmaus, and there's that great line where the disciples say, like, we had hoped that the Lord would be the one kind of to redeem Israel, right? I'm paraphrasing there. And Jesus, he calls them out and he says, you fools, how slow of heart you are. Wasn't it necessary that the Messiah would suffer and die before he entered into his glory? And I just felt like I was just thinking about how, even in the midst of things like I had hoped that we would all be together now, gathering again, ready for spring, having maybe a barbecue or something like that outside. I'm sure a lot of people hoped that, or whatever it might have been that you were looking forward to. And yet here we are, here we are. But God meets us there, like the Lord, he comes right into it all. And so, anyways, all this is just to say that really this chaplaincy group, like it's really a privilege to be your campus minister. And you all have really been a source of hope to me and a source of joy and happiness, and I miss seeing you all in person, but I'm thankful over this past year for being able to walk with you through this time, and you guys have definitely held me up, even if you don't really know. Each of you has a special place in my heart, and I'm just looking forward to seeing you all again soon, and I hope we can hang out in the summer, even if it is just online. So even if it is online. So, thank you so much for all your contributions and just, for being part of this community. It's such a gift.
Something I'm super grateful for this year is for new and nurtured authentic friendships. Despite quarantine and physical distancing protocols, I've been able to, through video calls and activities, to foster these deep and beautiful friendships throughout the year.
This school year has been a tough one, but I'm grateful for a successful completion of it, and I'm also grateful for my friends and families, especially the friends I've been able to make through the chaplaincy.
So something that I'm grateful for in this year is actually the people that have helped me maintain a healthy lifestyle. I usually don't think too much about it. I am a very goal-driven person, so this is something that I don't think about very often. So to all the people that just help me keep myself on track, so I'm very thankful for them.
Last year has been a little bit crazy for all of us, but there are still so many things to be grateful for. For me, I'm super thankful for all the gifts and blessings God has given me throughout this academic year. I have gotten to know new people in the middle of this pandemic, and I could grow in relationship with many of my friends and family, and I'm super blessed for that.
There are many things to be grateful for. I think one of the things in particular this year that I'm grateful for is just having the ability to work. Like, I know a lot of people aren't able to work right now, and that's very difficult in their own ways. But God has definitely provided me a job, and so I'm very, very blessed to be in that place right now.
This year has been incredibly strange, to say the least. With that in mind, I'm incredibly grateful for you guys. It means so much that you've been keeping in touch, although I long for the day that we could meet up in person, share a few meals, even a few handshakes and hugs, because that'd be nice.
I'm grateful to be graduating this year. This is my last semester at Durham College, and I'm really happy and really grateful for graduating.
Grateful for a lot of things this past year, one being able to receive the sacraments. In this time of uncertainty, I appreciate how parishes have gone great lengths in order to provide access to confession and communion. But another thing I'm grateful for is you guys. Whether it's interacting through CCO, space studies, seeing you on campus, North Campus, or simply the pew next over in St. Joe's during Mass. I appreciate the interactions and growing in my faith with the Oshawa Catholic Chaplaincy.
I'm also very grateful for chaplaincy for giving me the opportunity to foster a deeper sense of fellowship, whether it be praying with my friends in faith studies or on calls or just having a good time. Growing with people of the same faith as me has really helped in my formation.
The greatest thing that the chaplaincy has given me is the awakening of my interest in my own spiritual life. Before joining, I knew things, I knew most things, but I just didn't care. And I think just throughout the community, I think the chaplaincy has showed me how and why to care, and just the huge effect that it can have on my life. I think seeing people that do care showed me how I can grow too. So I'm really grateful to the chaplaincy too. I think the people that I've met here are life-changing, literally.
The chaplaincy people has been a really supportive and encouraging group since the very first time. Without pandemic, with pandemic, and I'm pretty sure after the pandemic. And I couldn't be more grateful for having these awesome people I can share the journey with, the struggles in faith, and all the also good moments and experiences in our relationship with Christ. So it's really beautiful to find people you can pray with and call them friends.
The chaplaincy this year has helped me to rediscover, find the source, and to grow and mature in my faith. With the opening and closing down of churches, the Lord has helped me to understand the value of community, friendship, and the public celebration of the sacraments.
The chaplaincy has helped me a lot on my journey towards Jesus. With everyone, just knowing that you have a group of friends that you can count on.
I love going to like theology on taps, and when I'm able to like listen and then respond. I think there's like something really, you could say like biblical in listening and then responding. And so yeah, I think that's like the best way for us in our like age group, for us to like allow ideas to really like to really mature. Yeah, so it's really beneficial for us to like spend time listening to these great speakers, listening to the ideas that they have to present, and then responding to them and like providing like a real life experience. So theology on taps were like phenomenal. And again, like there was another thing that happened this year where like there was certain members of the chaplaincy were like leading rosaries and leading like divine mercy chaplets and stuff, and like I just think those were like the heart of our like ministry.
I would thank God, and I've seen him working in my life this year through giving me very good and strong friends and family members to help me through tough spots.
God has been patiently teaching me things through the last year, and He has been sharing the journey with me and seeing my good and bad moments.
God has moved my life, I think. He has changed my life entirely. I just can't believe that I knew about him and I just didn't care. I feel like now that I do, I just feel like a completely new, remade person. I used to carry heavy stress as a consequence of just my own pride. But loving God um, has helped me just not only to progress in humility, but surrendering to His will has just lessened my load. And I now understand that it was a load that I didn't have to carry. I just carried it because of my own insecurities. So now I feel like just He has moved everything in my life, and now it's just much better in every single way.
What is God calling me for? I will say to surrender myself to Him more, to stop worrying about everything that is happening, and to just let His will to work on my life.
I really felt God move. So like I really recently moved to Ottawa. I think I really, really found God moving in this time because I was letting go of a lot of things that I felt very comfortable with. And I've just been trusting in the Lord for like everything. Like, not everything, but for simpler things, I should say, that I didn't trust God in before. So like for like where my next meal would come from, and like where I would get like my enjoyment out of, and like how I would get to a place. Yeah, I think I took a lot of things for granted, and so like it's just a much more conscious reliance on God.
Hi everyone, this is Father Eric, and as you know, I'm in my last year as priest chaplain of Ontario Tech Durham College in Trent, and I just want to take the time right now, because it's the end of the year, to thank you for the privilege of just being with you, and to thank you for the privilege of just ministering to you. Certainly, whenever we're engaged in ministry, it's always a privilege. But I think it's especially a privilege when it comes to ministering to young people and when it comes to ministering to young adults such as yourselves. There's a certain kind of idealism in youth which is refreshing. It can be intimidating, but at the same time refreshing, right? Because youth at their best, they refuse to compromise. They refuse to settle. They refuse to settle for anything less than that which is authentically good and true and beautiful. And you don't want to lose that, right? And I gotta say for myself, it's forced me in a certain sense to kind of rise to the occasion. And so the example that comes to mind, I always think about some stand-up comedy examples, right? So you think about a situation where there's a stand-up comedian, and there's the microphone, and there's like the audience, right? And so the idea is that you might have certain theories as to what jokes might be funny, but the question is it actually funny? And the same thing goes when it comes to ministry, right? And so we might have some idea as to which program or events or mode of ministry might work when it comes to the people of God in general and young people in particular, but the question is, does it actually work? Does it actually resonate with people who have, again, this unwavering sense of idealism? And it forces you to kind of bring it to the table, to adapt, to change, to make sure that you're actually ministering to people, and again, young people in particular, in a really authentic sort of way. And for myself, that's always been a really great thing. So again, thank you for that. So given all that, if I were to kind of leave you with two kind of concrete bits of advice, I guess the first bit of advice would be simply what I've been talking about. Like don't lose your sense of idealism, right? You got to realize that the Catholic faith is not less but more. And so in order to meet Christ in the midst of the Catholic truth, and in order to kind of live the Catholic faith in terms of a cutting edge sort of way, you want to make sure you never lose your sense of idealism. And more to the point, you want to make sure you're always living out of that space where your deep desires come face to face with God's ability to actually realize those desires. And again, to never settle for anything less. So I guess that's kind of the first thing. But the second thing, I guess, is to always stay close to each other and to stay close to the church. I mean, certainly people are going to move away, you're going to be separated because of various circumstances, but to stay close to Catholic people who are practicing their faith, to always stay close to the Catholic community, especially as you find it in the parish community. I mean, I can think of so many different examples in the past where I've been kind of up and about doing my own thing in Oshawa or Whitby, and then I've kind of run into different chaplaincy students kind of hanging out, just because, right? And that's no small thing. I mean, it really warms my heart to know that you really enjoy each other's company. And more to the point, you want to make sure that you're carrying that with you going forward. Never be alone. Never be alone in the midst of this pilgrim journey here on this earth. And never be alone in the midst of your journey towards full discipleship in the Lord. And so with that, I wish all of you very well. I love you very much. And let's stay in touch, through email or Facebook or whatever. And in the meantime, please be assured of my prayers. All right, take care.